And we're recording. Guys, it's been a while again. I've done it again. I had a bit of a hiatus again. Look, I need to stop doing it, I know, but I've been considering a lot of things in my life. Number one is my need for a smartphone. I actually bought a Nokia 3310. Can you believe it? What a throwback. I haven't even opened it yet. This is me opening it on camera. I actually can't wait to use it. I'm gonna go phoneless for a week. I mean, this has nothing to do with the video, sorry, with the podcast, but I just need to figure out how to put a SIM card in it, or my SIM card, and then, wow, this is so crazy. I think that's the SIM card place. Okay, back on track, right. Only a few episodes ago, I did a I'm back episode, and look, I'm back again, okay? I need to... The thing is, it's all excuses really, isn't it? It's all excuses. I started a new job and it was stressful and lots of things happened and I'm not in that job anymore. So the thing is, I am currently unemployed, and it's not like I'm not like concerningly unemployed, like I wasn't, struck off or anything, but it's kind of giving me a catalyst to really be like, do I actually want to go back into medicine? I don't know that I do, and maybe I've been waiting for the time where I jump ship from medicine to full-time content creation. Is it ever a good time? Well, yeah, probably there are better times than this. I'm not actually really making any money off it. And I am paying people to edit, so, it's costing me money. But I have money in the bank, and surely happiness is better than sadness. I enjoy this so much more. I can, I like being a doctor. Like is, a, slightly over-enhanced word there. At the moment, I don't like it. We'll get to that in a minute, right? So what I'm thinking of doing for the next month or two is I'm just going all in. I'm doing daily videos. I'm doing, I'm going all in on my Shopify store. I'm going all in on podcasting. I'm learning how to market things, and I'm not a marketer and I'm not really a salesperson. So I'm learning that. So I'm thinking I don't want to go back into medicine so badly that it's like, well, maybe I could say to myself, this is the time. I've jumped ship and I've kind of got to sink or swim. So I'm hoping, obviously I've got it to fall back on. I'm really grateful for that and very lucky. But do I just make a real crack at it for 1 or 2 months? Take a bit of a financial hit maybe and just kind of suck it up, cut back my spending, really make the best content ever, but also make so much of it that it kind of, I'm gonna get the views, the subscribers are coming in already, and the main issue is just money. So, I have money in the bank, right? Don't get me wrong. But most of it is in savings. I don't really want to touch it. I sound like I'm moaning about money. I'm not moaning about money. I don't think it's viable to do what I'm doing right now full time, and I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. And lots of people have built a few people that I know, not personally, but like online, they've built very successful businesses because necessity is the something of invention. I can't remember what the phrase is, but basically, because I have to push it, and like I've only got 1 or 2 months where I could really do it and try and fast track my success. That's kind of the necessity that I needed, and I don't want to go back into work so much. It's just so unattractive to me right now. Let's talk about that, right? Why do I want to leave medicine? Isn't it obvious? Like, medicine is... I like the job of being a doctor. Do I like the job of being a doctor right now? No, I don't. I don't enjoy it. My colleagues are all stressed. I'm not speaking for anybody here, and I'm not speaking about anyone in particular, but it seems like the whole profession is very stressed and under a lot of pressure. A lot of people are leaving. Maybe I'm adding fuel to that fire, but I enjoy this much more, and surely I should just enjoy life, shouldn't I? I don't know. Talking about enjoying life, if you're watching on the YouTubes, what do you think of my new podcasting wall? So this is a felt rainbow wall background. I literally put it up. I'm going to put it on my shorts and my reels on Instagram and my shorts on YouTube. Took probably 45 minutes, and I got it wrong a bit, but it looks so cool, and it's sound absorbing because it was so echoey in here, because it's literally wooden floorboards, etc. So yeah, I mean, why I want to leave medicine is kind of obvious, and I don't want to talk about it, to be honest, but I have had some issues with content creation and work, and that's about as far as I'm going to go into it. But basically, it's also acted as a catalyst for me to be like, is this really what I want to do? Medicine, I mean. I have really enjoyed not being in the hospital. I've enjoyed doing content creation every day. I felt really driven about it, and I guess this is kind of although this is an introductory back into my podcast, again, for the second time. Sorry, although I'm sure nobody cares. Although this is I can't even remember what I was saying. Yeah, although this is an introductory back into my podcast, it's kind of an indication or a lesson for you guys as well. Like, if you really don't like going into work every day, why are you still doing it? And I get it. I can answer that question for you, and I'm sure you can answer that question. It's easier. It's comfortable. Well, somewhat comfortable. It's comfortable. It pays the bills. And the other option is, you just leave and try and figure out something else? I don't know. I mean, thankfully, I've had my content creation going on in the background for about 2 years, maybe coming up to 3. I haven't really hit it hard until now, I wouldn't say, because I've been working. But my goal has always been to move over, or have the option to move over to content creation if I really wanted to. So I might do... Have I written that down? Yeah. I've written another podcast down about learn when to quit your job. Now, I didn't quit my job as such. In fact, I just wasn't required anymore. So, and that's quite common in locum industry. So that's, not a shock. But actively quitting your job definitely feels like you're putting the nails in your own coffin. Anyway, Right, I have an exciting announcement that's probably only exciting for me. I don't know, I'm just like, there are people that listen to my podcast, right? Who are these people? Guys, if you're there, please say hello, because, like, who are you? I can see the stats, people are listening. And did you know that if 30 people per episode listen to your podcast or download it, you're in top 1% of podcasts? Like, I find that really insane, because on YouTube, if 30 people watch a video, it's like, you know, you're probably in the bottom 1%. Come on. Podcasting is a very different story. You can get very few downloads, and that's actually quite good, apparently. 30 downloads. So I'm almost getting that. One of mine has got like 60. They vary between like 10 and 60. So anyway, I'm changing direction with the pod. I've never liked it when people call it the pod. I don't know why. The podcast. Wonder even why it's called podcast. Like, does anybody know that either? Anyway, I am changing direction. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to create some new artwork for the podcast, and I'm going to rename it, I think. I haven't yet thought of a name. If anybody comes up with a better name than me, please write it on YouTube. This video will go up on YouTube, and just write it on the comments, and I will probably consider it, because the ones I've got so far, let me tell you the theme first, right? I'm changing direction because I realised that doing a medical related podcast is slightly counterintuitive if I want to leave medicine or not be as involved in it as I am at the moment. Basically, it's very difficult to get doctors to speak publicly. Nobody wants to do it, and I know why. Because there's a public image. We're like, I don't want to say like royalty, but it's like similar, or like, you know, celebrity, or just professional. Like, it's just, there's an image and an expectation to uphold, and if you don't have a script, you might end up saying something that's a bit rogue, and people don't want to risk that, especially with their face and their name on there. It is risky. I'm also thinking I've recently changed my videos to be more on the style of self-improvement, more like lifestyle-y, and mental health, and yeah, mainly self-improvement. And what I've found is that the audience is significantly wider, in that I'm not just targeting medical audience, and maybe the medical audience isn't really what I want anyway. And what I've found as a result is that I can engage with my friends on videos, and they're not, you know, my non-medic friends, and they are quite happy to come on the video, whereas my medic friends are not, and they're also too busy to spend time with me. So also, none of them, I don't know, do any of them want to have fun and like do a podcast? Or, you know, time is money. Like, I don't know, people just don't want to for so many reasons, and I completely get it. These are all like reasons that I've thought of. I haven't asked anybody, as in I have asked people. I've been like, oh, do you want to come on the podcast? They've always said like, yeah, maybe, or no. So I know that people don't really want to, but I haven't really questioned as to why. But those are my theories. So I want it to be more of a, I don't want it to be like a productivity channel, blog, vlog, podcast. I want it to be like a not productivity one, but more of a self-improvement. I think productivity is a bit of a sham, or it's definitely got its negative connotations now. So I was thinking of names, and it's like, stop being productive. Productivity is BS. The productivity ick. Something along those lines. I don't know, just something that's like, we're not doing productivity, we're doing self-improvement instead, but like in a good way, not a how can I get the most out of my maximizing time efficiency and productivity and do the most work that I can and make the most money and be the most happy and married to my job. Like, that's not the vibe I'm going for. I'm going more for, you want to improve yourself and therefore improve your mental health, and it's like a constant thing throughout life, but you know, we'll discuss topics like why productivity sucks. I never use that word, that's such an American word. Dealing with expectations, standing up for yourself. That's definitely a really important skill that I've learned through my career. So, where is this podcast going? I want to create a deeper connection with people, and that sounds really corny. Again, another American phrase. I do. I want to have conversations, and positive conversations with my audience. I feel like a lot of people that leave comments, or a lot of people like my stuff, don't leave comments. And then the people who have got something maybe critical or not like, you know, necessarily loving of in the comment, they're the ones that comment. So I want to get a connection with my audience who really appreciates the content, who finds it useful. Maybe nobody finds it useful, and that's why nobody's commenting. It's a possibility. That would be sad. I mean, it's definitely a possibility. Okay, well, that's awkward. Guys, I want to ask, and I feel quite awkward asking this. I'm making a big leap here, and I might not be going back to my job. Now, I have a relatively strong suspicion that I will have to, because it's like a game of chicken, isn't it? Like, am I really going to make it in like a month or two? You know, enough to the point where I am matching my salary? I just don't think so. I am going into it with the mindset that, fuck, I would love that. Like, I really would. And I'd be able to like fully commit myself to what I'm doing now, which is making content, speaking to you guys, having guests on the show, and actually organising that. And I've got like loads of people that I want to speak to, and now that I've kind of broadened my audience away from doctors as such, that enables me to speak to so many more people. So I guess, what was the thing that I was asking? So I was going to ask, and I literally hate asking for help. Like, I'm that person that I'll like drown in the swimming pool and not be like, no, I probably would be, but I'm a very independent person. I would love to do it on my own, but I would also love your support, and not just like, it's not just a financial thing, and I know I sound like a kid that needs reassurance, but I'm like, is this any good? Like, what do you want to hear? Like, tell me what you want to hear and I will talk about it. I've got so much to talk about. My editor literally hates me. He's like, Dawn, stop talking so much. So that's where I need to get it out on the podcast. and just chat shit for a very long time. And then hopefully my videos will become a bit more concise. So I'm beating about the bush here. What I'm asking is, I'm going to put my Patreon. I've had this Patreon page for years, but I've never actually told anybody about it because I'm like, who would want to pay me? Like, who? But now I'm making that leap. I'm really committing myself. A video a day, a podcast a day. I'm doing loads of shorts. I'm honestly, I've applied to 2 remote jobs so that I can stay out of hospital, and really try and commit myself to this. And everything I have in terms of time, effort, money is going into creating content for you guys. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys could just like go and have a look at my Patreon. I need to go and like properly set it up because I think I opened it, you know, like 3 years ago thinking, oh well, that's the thing that people do. Like, people get a Patreon page and then people pay them. But like, I was kind of, I don't know, I just set it up and then I heard, well, you know, you need to actually have people that care about your content first. I don't know if I'm there yet. Like, honestly, this really stresses me out because I'm like, oh, I don't know. I want to make this viable. And with your support, like, I will totally, you know, you leave a comment or message me or whatever, I will do a video that you want if you're, you know, not only if you're supporting me, and that would be really great, but also if you're not supporting me, I will listen to you if I think it's a good idea. And it's not just like a joke idea, like, go jump off the Eiffel Tower without a harness. No. So that is my plea. It might fall on deaf ears, but look, I've tried. Okay, so there we go. I might actually record my next podcast right now, and then tonight I'm going to my first, I've got a 6-week improv course and it's starting tonight in an hour and 20 minutes. So this next podcast will have to be like 30 minutes, or maybe I'll tire myself out so much that I won't be able to talk in the improv. I don't know. All of this, you know, the improv, the stand-up comedy, I'm even thinking about acting. It's not because I want to be an actor or a comedian or an improv theatre person. I just want to be the best that I can for creating content. And when I commit myself to something, I commit hard, you know? I'm like, I'm going to become a doctor. I became a doctor. Like, now this is my next venture in life. And I would love to take you guys along with me, come along for the ride. It's a good time. We're under the rainbow. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I mean, I have lots more to say, but let's do it in the next episode. So thanks so much for listening. Just to summarise, please, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, please like, subscribe it, and comment what do you want to hear me talk about. If you want, go and check out my Patreon page. I would very much appreciate it, but maybe give me like a day because I need to sort it out. And we'll see how things go. Ooh, I'm excited. I really am. I've been wanting to do this for so long, but how much realistically do I need, like, to survive? Probably like at least £2,000 a month. I live in Bristol. It's expensive. That's just like basic bills, food. You know, I would need £2,000. It's probably a lot to ask, but look, we've all got to start from somewhere. That would be the ideal aim. Okay, £2,000, but you know, whatever. That would pay my bills and you know, also pay the editor that helps me create all this content. All right, I've begged enough. I'm sorry. I literally hate begging. I mean, I don't know that I said please, so I don't know that it's begging. I would really like it if you did it, please. But you don't have to if, you know, you can't afford it or you just don't care. But you made it to this far, so, I mean, you watched the whole episode or listened to the whole episode, and then, you know, if you made it this far, I feel like you could definitely subscribe. You know, Patreon is, you might not even know what Patreon is. It's basically a system where you can do, like, you know, a monthly donation. It's not a lot, you know, like £5 or something. And it's literally like a coffee or a pint a month. And at some point I will introduce, you know, different tiers, and I will do giveaways and stuff like that. So and you know, release content earlier and produce extra content for the patrons, and I'll give you all a shout out, and I will love you a lot. So honestly, it's not gonna go unnoticed. Like, I really want to stress that. So that's my begging plea. Okay, anyway, I've talked again too much, probably just repeated a lot of stuff, and I'm not even gonna edit it because I want you to feel me raw, like raw me. All right, that got weird. Okay, I'll see you in like 5 minutes when I've recovered from all this talking. Bye. Let me know if you like my rainbow too.